Coming up on Ag Week TV, the trade war and low commodity prices continue to concern farmers.
We'll take you inside this farm building to show you 180 acres of vertical lettuce farming.
The South Dakota Beef Industry Council's ranch destination will be even bigger and better at this year's Sanford International Golf Tournament. And we'll look at the role cattle play in conserving grasslands and the ecosystem. Welcome to Ag Week TV. I'm Michelle Ruck. Trade and commodity prices continue to top the talk in the country. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem heard those themes at a recent farm group roundtable at the South Dakota State Fair. She says farmers want to add value to commodities to make up for lost exports due to the trade war. She's encouraging livestock development as an option, and the state continues to offer tax breaks for infrastructure. However, she says there are still counties that are rejecting livestock projects.
We will protect our water, we will protect our land and make sure it's done correctly, but you just can't make up untruthful facts and put it out there and reject projects and then expect the state to come bail you out when you need money.
In the area of trade, Noem is encouraged by the recent U.S.-Japan agreement. This week, Epitome Energy announced their permit process for the Soy Innovation Campus in Crookston, Minnesota. They also received a $250,000 loan from the city of Crookston. This is the first step towards the building of a $150 million soy crush and biodiesel facility.
So at the same time, we are looking at building a 21 million bushel crush and the 30 million biodiesel plant.
The facility could generate $323 million in new economic activity and increase the value of soybeans in northwest Minnesota by an estimated 20 cents per bushel. The state legislature had already provided $5 million in funding for the Soy Innovation Campus. They plan for the plant to be operational by the fall of 2021. A group of North Dakota trade and ethanol officials recently visited Brazil with the goal of selling more ethanol there. North Dakota can produce 520 million gallons of ethanol a year at 5 plants, but only 10% is used in the state. The rest is exported to several countries, but primarily Canada. Brazil is currently the world's biggest buyer of U.S. ethanol, although North Dakota doesn't sell any product there. The trip was organized by the North Dakota Trade Office and U.S. Commercial Service. A wheat specialist says there's good news to report from a recent tour of Nebraska to gauge the threat from Palmer amaranth. Tom Peters says he has more hope about controlling the noxious weed. Palmer amaranth is a pigweed species, sometimes described as a superweed. Peters first saw it in fields in 2017. He says the huge size of the plant made him fearful for our growers because it can severely cut yields. But he says now farmers seem to have a good plan in place to control its spread.
We have to use crop rotations. We have to layer multiple herbicides during the growing season. We need to pull weeds. We need to use cover crops. But if we put together a system of practices, we can control Palmer amaranth.
The fast-growing weed has been moving north. It was first found in Minnesota in 2016 and has been confirmed in several North Dakota counties this year. Young grain trader Hunter Hansen pleaded guilty to defrauding several farmers and elevators out of about $11 million. He now faces up to 8 years in prison and has promised to make restitution. But that's not the only venture he's been involved with. Mikkel Pates has more on Hansen's used car business.
I look back and kind of wonder how I didn't see, the signs earlier.
Hunter Hansen was just 21 when he first talked with Stuart Medrud, an experienced car dealer, about going with him in a used car business. Medrud didn't want to be his partner, but he agreed to manage the business.
It was his business, so he bought the vehicles and had them shipped here, and then we'd sell them.
Hansen told Medrud the money for the car dealership came from his successful grain trading business. The car business seemed to go well until Hansen's grain business failures started making the news. Public Service Commission regulators started hearing complaints last November.
Then it really started hitting me that something's not right with this guy. He's way over his head, and he ended up in jail.
Hansen was arrested in April. He was released from jail and is free until he is sentenced in November for the grain fraud. He also faces separate charges in Mountrail County. And as for the car dealership, Medrud says there are still more than 30 car buyers waiting to find out if they'll ever get a clear title to their vehicles. In Belcourt, this is Mikkel Pates for Ag Week.
Up next on Ag Week TV, we'll take you inside this building to show you lettuce farming.
This is Dennis Beliski reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On-site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Nothing holds more promise than a seed. And when it comes from Peterson Farm Seed, it's backed with a promise from us. We will sell no seed we wouldn't be happy to plant on our own farm, so that growers like Pete can keep a promise of his own, to build a profitable business with his kids and give them the opportunity to one day do the same with theirs. Grow your promise. Grow Peterson Farm Seed.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
How can one tillage tool handle most field conditions, residue types, and tillage practices? It takes a Renegade, the Summers VRT Renegade. Switch from vertical to aggressive tillage and anywhere in between. Adjust blade angles, tillage depth, and more on the go, all from an iPad. Get the tillage results you want, like only the Summers VRT Renegade can. For more information or a demo, contact your Summers dealer.
Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Batco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Batco dealer.
Lettuce Abound Farms grows 7 different varieties of lettuce along with basil. They produce inside using no natural sunlight and just 4% of the water typically needed. Katie Pinky traveled to central Minnesota to learn more about this unique operation.
This is a great way to grow food, and I think this is the farm of the future.
Kevin Nortonblad once was a corn and soybean farmer in Minnesota. Today, he's a lettuce farmer, farming 180 acres of vertical lettuce.
We are the only aeroponic organic facility, so we did the trial and error method, which is very painful and it takes a long time. You snap that into place, you put it in there, and you let it grow. We have 12 systems. The systems have 1,536 heads of lettuce on them. Right now we're harvesting about 1.5 systems a week, roughly 2,000 heads of lettuce. We plan to get 12 to 15 heads of lettuce out of each slot. That's where the 180 acres of production is calculated.
Tell us how you fertilize your lettuce and how is it different?
The boom that's in there travels down and it sprays the roots on the side. And all of the watering happens inside of that system. We reuse everything that's not absorbed by the plant. Then about 12 hours before we harvest it, we take all of the nutrients away. We water with only water. We're the only company in the industry that does this. And by only using water, it will raise the sugar level in the leaves. Our lettuce will literally taste sweeter than anybody else's.
What is the greatest challenge for Lettuce Abound?
Marketing. Being able to educate the public to let them know that this lettuce is better than the lettuce that comes out of California. That'll be 5 to 7 days old by the time it gets here. This will be 48 hours, and our lettuce will taste sweeter. They will pay a little bit more, but the nutrition they get from this is off the charts better than what you grow outside, because we can control the nutrition with nutrients and with light.
So you decided to become USDA certified organic. Why?
Mainly because we were literally an organic plant to start with. We did not have to make a lot of changes. We don't have weed control, we don't have bugs. We're sealed off from the environment, so that part of it was pretty easy. The hardest part was getting the nutrient solution dialed in.
You've said vertical farming is the farmer of the future. Tell us why you think that.
It's something that can be taken anywhere that it wants to go to. Instead of, I don't have any land here, I can't farm. Well, you can build a building.
They've been harvesting lettuce for just over a year now. It's sold in several regional supermarket chains. Many conservation programs have sought to keep cattle off the land, thinking they would damage the ecosystem of pollinators, birds, and other species. But the philosophy of how to best care for grasslands is changing, as Jenny Schlecht reports in this week's Ag Week cover story.
Cattle have historically got a bad rap on being bad for the environment, bad for our grasslands. And in the end, they were so wrong.
Kevin Sedovic is the director of the Central Grasslands Research Extension Center in Streator, North Dakota. He admits cattle and conservation haven't always been natural companions when it comes to managing grasslands. But now, researchers are starting to understand cattle's place in the ecosystem.
Today, we finally understand the value of cattle in terms of conservation and keeping grass where grass should be at for the value in terms of its whole ecosystem function. Those grasslands are our habitat for wildlife. There are pollinator species for pollinators. They're our food source.
At the National Wildlife Federation's America's Grasslands Conference recently in Bismarck, part of the focus was on the interplay between grazing and grasslands health.
And I think some of the greatest grassland conservationists are ranchers.
Colin O'Mara is the president and CEO of the National Wildlife Federation. He says in addition to habitat, grasslands provide many other benefits, including carbon capture and preventing erosion. And he says it's vital to keep ranching profitable to preserve grasslands.
If we don't have kind of sustainable habitat that's also profitable, there's a lot of places that we'll lose. And so, having cattle that's responsibly managed and sustainably harvested can not only provide a great product for market, but can also provide this amazing resource that it needs to thrive.
O'Mara says it's vital to build partnerships with ranchers and landowners and to educate the public about this important natural resource. In Bismarck, this is Jenny Schlecht for Ag Week.
You can read much more on this in the next Ag Week magazine and at agweek.com. A new online tool may help ranchers determine how much more grass production might remain for their cattle. GrassCast takes precipitation forecasts and translates them into an estimate of how many pounds of forage are going to grow per acre compared to the historic average. It was created by USDA's Ag Research Service and several universities. The maps offer 3 scenarios based on precipitation.
We need to look into the future at the growing season, but we're not sure exactly what's going to happen. Forecasts are wrong sometimes, we know that. And so we give you 3 different scenarios to consider.
Ranchers can zoom in about a 6-by-6 mile view. GrassCast now covers the Great Plains, but Peck says they hope to add the southwestern U.S. by 2020. Ahead on Ag Week TV, city folks and farmers alike get a chance to dine on North Dakota ag products. And later we'll see how the Sanford International Golf Tournament is beefing up.
It's the perfect time to get ready for harvest, and North Star Ag has the equipment you need to keep things running smoothly this season. We have a great selection of augers from Meridian and Wheatheart, as well as Batco and Unitube conveyors. Uptime is crucial. Keep your crew in the field longer with a fuel trailer from Thunder Creek. And don't forget, North Star Ag has Meridian hopper bins for any size operation. See our complete new and used equipment inventory at northstarag.com or give us a call.
Mother Nature doesn't always cooperate. So when conditions are right, be ready with genuine Case IH parts from Titan Machinery. Only genuine Case IH parts are engineered to keep your equipment running at peak efficiency when you're running around the clock. Don't risk your bottom line with off-brand parts that don't meet the same standards. Visit your local Titan Machinery dealership today to find out why genuine Case IH parts offer the best value and performance for your operation.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
With the all-new GreenFit system from Reichart, plug and play is finally a reality when using John Deere AutoTrack guidance with existing new products like the Challenger 1000 series or all-new C-Series Rogators from Butler Machinery. GreenFit is an authorized navigation interface that utilizes existing John Deere AutoTrack guidance systems to steer most Challenger tractors and sprayers. GreenFit eliminates the worry of learning and converting to a new steering system when buying an industry-leading Challenger from Butler Machinery. Learn more about GreenFit at butlermachinery.com/greenfit.
Steffes Group, selling land and the equipment to farm it since 1960. If you're interested in selling or have questions about our auction process, head to our website at steffesgroup.com to contact us at any one of our 4 locations located throughout the Midwest. You can also visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel to view all of our auction previews and recaps to stay up to date on the market in your area.
North Dakota is an ag state, but there are still plenty of people who don't have any contact with farming. In an effort to educate consumers, the Brucker family invites people to their lodge each summer for a farm-to-table dinner. Emma Vattenstall was a guest this year and gives us a taste.
I think it's important for people to know where their food comes from, and that's what we get to do here, is talk about how the food ended up on your plate.
Joe Brecker has been involved in conservation agriculture for 40 years. Healthy soil makes healthier foods, and that's part of the message he wants to share.
Welcome. What do you think so far?
The Brecker family built the Katota Prairie Lodge on their farm in southeast North Dakota with the idea of sharing their knowledge and the state's bounty with the public. So a farm-to-table dinner is a natural fit. Their menu features local ingredients and expertly paired beverages.
So we thought, why not show off the very best food sources, farmers, ranchers, producers? Why not show them off right here on the farm? They can take in the beauty of just the country scenery and enjoy the food that is grown just right around here.
The Breckers say they're happy to provide this opportunity for farm and non-farm families to learn a little more about what goes into their food. Near Havana, North Dakota, this is Emma Vattenstall for Ag Week.
Guests who stay at the lodge also get to tour the Brucker farm. A late start to the planting season and a cool end to August has some farmers concerned about crop maturity. Corn, soybeans, and sunflowers are in a race to maturity, and an early frost in the region is a threat. NDSU Extension agronomist Hans Kandel has an online computer model that soybean farmers can look at to predict maturity. It considers the planting date and variety maturity and then uses data from the nearest end-on weather station to predict the date it might mature, as well as the first frost date.
I put part of the data together and we verified the data on maturity date, and we are close if you plant it within May. If you plant it really late, then the model doesn't work as well.
Immature crops take a yield and quality hit and may mean increased grain drying costs. Will the weather help the crops make it to maturity or at least avoid an early frost? Here's John with our Agri-weather outlook.
The weather across especially the northern plains has been so much colder than average for the last 3 or 4 weeks or so. It's only inevitable that would eventually turn around, but it's not happening just yet. The other thing that's happening is our rainy August is turning into a rainy September across the northern plains. Still relatively cool across the region for this week, but a lot of that in the Dakotas, Minnesota, maybe northern Iowa will be because of rain-cooled air. There actually is some warmth that will be building into the Corn Belt, and that will help provide some heating degree days to finish off corn and beans in the Corn Belt, those that were planted anyway, in areas where they're still waiting on enough heating degree days. The heat in the south, that's going to start building north, jet stream buckling northward just a little bit. It will remain relatively cool across Canada and across North Dakota, northern Minnesota, back and through the northern Rockies this week. We'll have some relatively cool weather. As the week goes along, the jet stream developing a bit of a southwest to northeast pattern, which will allow warm temperatures to build up into places like Iowa and across the Corn Belt. By warm, I mean some days in the 70s and 80s and maybe a few spots near 90. The real heat will be down south. Most of this cool weather in North Dakota will be because it will be rain-cooled air. Several rounds of rain expected this week across the northern plains. As we move into the second week here, this will be the second week on the board, September 15th through 21st. Another little change taking place that will bring, I think, around the middle of the month, Some actual warmer temperatures, at least briefly, into parts of the northern plains, and again, a second round of that in the Corn Belt. As far as precipitation goes, it will be fairly rainy. North Dakota down through Iowa and into the Great Lakes, quite dry in the deep south for this week. Next week, still the wettest area, I think eastern North Dakota and northern Minnesota, with showers throughout the Corn Belt.
Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Badco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Badco dealer.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you with a wide variety of bin options and accessories, along with site planning and superior customer service. Plus, from top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with generations of experience and dependability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
With the success of the Case IH Steiger Quad Track and Magnum Road Track tractors, it's no secret why Case IH is the leader of the track. So it wasn't surprising when the competition started imitating us. But only Case IH offers a 5-axle design to give you a smoother ride, more power to the ground, with less berming and compaction. Still, we're flattered. In fact, if we weren't already red, we'd be blushing.
This is Dennis Belisky reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Dynaflow is the ultimate high-volume water management pump. Whether you're experiencing flooding, emptying sloughs, transferring ponds, or working on irrigation, the Dynaflow pump works in as little as 18 inches of water and is designed to move 3,000 gallons per minute. The Dynaflow pump features neoprene-lined turbine bearings backed up with a sand collar to prevent debris and grit, all to assure your pump keeps working season after season. Find out more at dynaflowpump.com.
Lean beef is a premier protein for athletes and Americans over 40. That's the message South Dakota cattle producers will be sharing at this year's Sanford International Senior Golf Tournament in Sioux Falls. The South Dakota Beef Industry Council is again hosting the Ranch Destination, building on their success in 2018.
We wanted to give the fans and the spectators a great place to relax and enjoy the tournament and the sun and the spectators, and also learn a little bit about protein and a little bit about beef.
What we saw was the interaction with people there was tremendous, and when the grill was running and they could smell it, people came in droves to come to our area.
This year, the Beef Council will have a larger venue where fans can enjoy high-quality beef and meet the ranchers that produce it.
It's going to be more of a interaction, show them the products that we have and allow them to taste it for themselves.
The popular virtual tours will be back, which give consumers an up-close look at how beef is produced.
We also want to spend a lot of time down at the ranch telling people about the ranch and how it's different maybe from how we grew up.
And cattle producers will share the message of how beef is a premier protein for athletes and seniors.
To introduce and to re-educate people about protein and the value of protein in their performance is huge.
After 40, we have a tendency to lose muscle mass. And if we can eat a high-quality protein such as beef, it can help maintain it.
The Sanford International Golf Tournament is scheduled for September 18th through the 22nd. We want to share some news about a member of our Ag Week family. You may have noticed Jonathan Knutson hasn't been in the magazine or on the TV show as often recently. That's because he was diagnosed with colon cancer in April. He's going through a course of treatment and is recovering. Jonathan is back to work on a limited scale. One of the things he's written about lately is the story of his illness. You can read about it in the next Ag Week magazine and on agweek.com. Still ahead on Ag Week TV, we wish a happy birthday to North Dakota's oldest resident. Ag Week is excited to bring you the Ag Week app with useful features and the latest news and information right at your fingertips. Get your Ag Week news, weather, and the latest episodes of Ag Week TV. Plus, see real-time information on the futures market and view local cash bids for your crops. Stay updated and take Ag Week with you wherever you are. Download the Ag Week app today.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
A very special North Dakota farm girl celebrated a big birthday recently. Iris Westman turned 114 years old. She's now the 3rd oldest American and the 12th oldest person in the world. Iris left her family's farm near Annetta to get a degree from UND. She still owns that farm, but she had a career as a teacher and a librarian, sharing literature with North Dakota farm kids.
I really enjoyed having children pick out the stories. I like to lead them into the stories.
Ag Week has a couple of special connections to Iris. She's the great aunt of our publisher, Katie Pinky, and Iris and Mickle Pate sang together in a church choir in Worthington, Minnesota, back when Mickle was just a cub reporter. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Ag Week TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or download the Ag Week app. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. And we'll see you next week.